Greetings and welcome to Magic with Tamala Farron. I'd like to take a few minutes today to talk about something that was brought up quite recently with myself and some friends. And it became a sore spot with one person, and I want to share my view on this matter because I think respect is very important. When you walk into somebody else's home or sanctuary or sacred space, you respect it. Hands down, you respect it. In other words, you're going over to a friend's house and they want help with a certain ritual or spell, and you've offered to help them, then you respect their space. In other words, if they worship Egyptian gods, you respect it. If they worship Norse or Celtic, or if they are more native in their path, if they've chosen to be part hoodoo or voodoo or Santeria or Gardnerian or Alexandrian, it doesn't matter. Wicca doesn't matter. Traditional family doesn't matter. You walk into somebody else's home, Christian, okay, I don't care. You respect them for what they believe in. And I was going to be helping a certain person that I respect and help them working magic in my own home. And that was I was asked specifically, who are your patron gods? Who are you going to be using for this? And I let them know. And someone else said, well, I don't do that, so I'm going to bring my gods, and da-da-da, and was very adamant about it. But it was bordering insultive for them and for me. And if you come and talk to me, we can work something out. If we're doing a ritual outside, not a problem. If we're doing a ritual in the woods or down at the water, not a problem. But when you're asking me to use my own altar, my own Covenstead altar, and basically want to push aside the gods that I have chosen for my hearth and home and apply yours. If I were to say yes, that's one thing. If I would prefer not, then it becomes your choice whether or not you want to work the magic there. But in the same process, I was also asked, well, you're not Christian, but what if you went to somebody else's and you don't believe in Christianity and stuff, but what if they asked to pray with you? What if they asked to, if you would support them while they were doing something, some prayers or calling upon an angel to help them? What would you do? Would you walk out? Would you say, well, I don't believe that, da 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 da? And I very openly said, I would respect them. It's their space, their belief structure. And there would be no reason for me to push it. I would, if they needed me to be there to help them, that is what I would do. I'm not going to sit there and come home and bring their gods into my world and dump mine because they've got them. But I will respect them in their home. It's common courtesy. And that's what I find with a lot of the backstabbing that goes on in the pagan community. It's misunderstanding of each other's beliefs rather than respecting and learning others' beliefs. Realistically, we in the pagan community have so many pantheons and so many aspects of the craft that respecting each other is basic common denominator. I mean, I want to be respected for who I am in the community. And the same thing goes for anybody who is in front of me. I respect. Now, I'm not talking about somebody who is harming others. That's a different story, and that's not respectful. I'm talking about people who have different paths that are still positive and peaceful and loving. You respect those people. You respect them in their own homes. You respect them as friends, as family, as whatever. You do not tell somebody in their own home how to practice. You don't tell them anywhere. But you specifically don't walk into somebody's home and say, I do this, I do that, and that's it. And the person in the home that has their sanctuary, their sacred space set up for how they do things. I mean, I don't mind blending beliefs and working together with other pagans. I have no problem with that. I do have a problem with disrespect. Don't tell me how to practice and I won't tell you. That's basically how it works. But when I walk into somebody else's home, I instantaneously respect them. Until they show me some reason not to, there's no reason why I shouldn't. It's as simple as that. It's common courtesy. It's respect. And you know, if I'm out in the middle of the woods and I'm with other people, well, it's not my personal sacred space. Therefore, if you want to bring in your gods and I'm bringing in mine, we can work with all of this. Sorry about that. I had one of my kids come to the door and the doorbell went off, so I had to legitimately just pause everything and run. But what I'm trying to say is, even if somebody is asked to take charge of a situation or of a circle, you respect them for it. Completely respect. My son decided to whistle. I had to pause again. Okay, so as we were saying, we were discussing, if somebody is doing a communal ritual and everybody involved is participating and giving forth effort along in the ritual. I mean, covens are complete, or should be, completely balanced and sharing one another wisdom and guidance, and it becomes a stronghold because you are so diverse and you share and you respect. When you belong to a coven, even so, if you walk into the high priest or priestess's home, which may be a part of the coven stead, but still their home and their altars are set up, the level of respect there still has to remain. It's just, I've always done that way, and in return I've always gotten the respect. So walking into somebody else's home, the respect stands for me. Somebody coming into my home, I demand the respect as well. It's common courtesy. And it's pretty much the same for all. I mean, you just, if you're going to do a ritual together, either have a communal altar inside, or keep the coven gatherings and talk about them and work it out. Because when I am doing something in front of my altar, it stands with what I'm and whom I am calling upon. And everybody else that I know is like that too. So if you have somebody that is having a hard time with it, let them know. If I was going into your home, in front of your altar, I would not disgrace you or your gods. It's that simple. So you respect. It is, unfortunately, come up in a lot of circles in the last couple of years with a lot of backstabbing, disrespect, and people who don't know how to play nice. And there's no reason for it. There really isn't, because if everybody wants to connect and practice the craft in the proper way, then we have to practice, you know, the love and peace and respect and honesty. So let's do that. If you're gonna get your knickers in a twist over every little thing that doesn't thrill you, then perhaps maybe you should be a solitary until you figure out how to respect others. Or work it out. Talk. Don't sit there and get angrier and angrier, because that just makes everybody not want to do anything magically with you. Bad vibes are not something that should come into circle. So it should be worked out, talked out, and dealt with. Like I said, new people who have not worked in a large community of pagans need to know this. People that have been working and practicing the craft for years should already know this. Should not have to be told. And even at gatherings out in parks or in forests or whatever of multiple people, the respect should be there. The love, the understanding, the working together as one should be amplified. It's just not going to work if it's full of anger and bitterness and miscommunications. So if you are going to go into somebody else's house, respect their sacred space. It's as simple as that. And realize, if you want friends in the community, you have to be one. Being a witch is a calling, even if you're brought up in the craft. And you're an example of how people should act. You don't have to be perfect, but you do have to practice what you preach, correct? So it's the simple things, but it makes things a whole lot smoother working it out. Okay? And it's called common courtesy, people. Respect. Let's work on that. I am just, this was a pet peeve, but it's not just the incident that I had. I'm seeing it throughout most pagan communities right now in the last couple of years, where such great disrespect that, they're fighting on media, they're disrespecting each other in public. It's not kosher. It's wrong. We're supposed to be brothers and sisters of the craft. And yes, siblings fight. But the thing is, we're here to help one another. We can disagree. We can have different opinions. But if we're going to work magic together, we have to get our act together. Because we can't go into circle with negativity blaring everywhere. That's not going to work. Magic is too precious to damage. From within us to all around us. That's my rant for today. And be good. Thank you for listening. I have a couple of videos coming up, and I hope you enjoyed them. Many blessings unto all of you. With Lughnasadh coming up this weekend, it is going to be an amazing gathering time, and it's going to be fully blessed. I love it. You take care, and please click like and subscribe. I will talk to you real soon. Thanks again for listening.